Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Lordnod at the side of TI3. We are having a ball of a time with a really special friend, and I'm going to get his name right. If I don't, I'm going to go ahead and try this again. This is Sivatheeban Sivanathapillai. He's from Sri Lanka. Did I get that right?
Yes.
But every one of you know him as 1437. So, welcome to the show. And first you have to tell us that long name and then why 1437.
Okay. Vanakkam India, I am Sivatheeban Sivanathapillai and I play for LGD International. The name 1437 stands for I love you forever. It's the amount of letters in the words. So I for 1, love for 4, 3 for you, and forever equals 7.
Nice, nice. How nice is that? So you're this Asian boy who's, going on playing at the international. It's the biggest tournament. Where did you start playing this game? Dota 1, some other game? How do you start?
I started by playing Warcraft 3 with some real life friends, and from there I saw Dota in the custom games, so I started playing Dota when I think I was about 13 or 14 years old when I started, and from there I just kept on playing, and eventually it got more competitive for myself, and one day I found myself on a team and I started from the bottom, and I guess now I'm here.
No. This is phenomenal. So you actually, so you're LGD, and did you try other teams before this? How do you get into how do you go from the amateur to the professional scene?
Okay, well, I think it started about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I was playing with a player called PowerNet from America, and we were really good friends. And so we decided that we will start a team together. And from this, it was just a brand new team with just some friends that we knew. And we just scrimmed 8 hours a day. I come home from school at 3, and I just played until midnight or whatever. And eventually we were recognized. He joined a big team called OK Nirvana, and then I joined that team right after. And with this team, I ended up going to the first international that happened in Cologne, Germany. And from there on, started my, I guess, journey in the pro scene. I played at first international, then I went. After that, we disbanded. I created a new team. An American team, and that didn't work out so well. But then before the second international, I ended up on Mouse Sports. I was playing with Sing Sing there, and that was the team I attended TI2 with. And after TI2, that team came to an end, and this is where LGD International came into the picture. And now we're here.
So he is Mr. Veteran, like we got to say. You got 3 rings for 3 internationals, which is there. So you've been through this journey of 3 internationals. Tell us what's changed from 1 to 2 to 3 in your perspective.
The first international was something like a beta. It just started as something that Valve wanted to do, and it was really interesting. I even thought the first international was already really cool because of the amount of money that was in the game already and such stuff like this. And going into the second international, it was just even better because of what Valve, they brought the tournament to their hometown, and all these nice hotels and this awesome venue and everything, and it was really cool. And the third international, I feel, is very similar to the second international, except there's even more money. There's $1 million more than it was from the second international.
So there's money, there's fame, there's so many new people. I think, what do you have to go ahead and say to all these fans who've lined up? I've seen you've been the trooper, you've been signing every autograph, you've been smiling for photographs. I've taken a couple of them for you. But how do you feel about the fans? Do you love this? Do you let this go to your head?
I think fans is something that you really need. It makes you feel better about yourself, and it boosts your morale and all this kind of stuff. Basically, for myself, fans just make me want to play even more and better. So it's really cool. I think TI is just a really awesome place for all the players. What Valve did, they always want players to interact with fans, and they allow fans to interact with players. So it's really cool.
So, yeah, well, guys, if you actually have to be someone like him, who's an Asian boy who actually got to go do this, you have every right to be here. That you could be him standing next year, and all you got to do is listen to him. And for that, we'll just love to go ahead and ask, what do you think takes someone from being a good Dota player in pubs and scrims and in a local team to someone who can come to the international, someone who can be part of a pro team?
It's a bit different with Dota 1 and Dota 2. In Dota 1, I think it was more about skill based, but in Dota 2, I feel like I think I really do believe that a lot of people can reach the skill cap in Dota 2. And what was the difference between regular players and pro players is how much you're actually willing to put into the game. If you really want it, then I think you will make it. You should try your best to reach out to whoever you think can help you get to the point where you can play at the international. And Dota 2 has just become a game that's more about strategy and all this kind of stuff, and less about just your individual skill.
In terms of you actually traveling internationally and spending time with China, how's the language issues been? Do you speak Cantonese, or how did you ever get by there?
In China, where we stayed, everyone just spoke Mandarin, and okay, here's a funny story then. When we first went to China, we actually had a Chinese teacher, right? And she was teaching us Chinese. We learned a few words and sentences. I know how to go home from taking a cab. I say, 我去在春天花园 to the cab driver, and he'll take me home. And so this Chinese teacher that we had for about a month and a half or so, Misery, our player in our team, ended up starting to date her. So once he started dating her, the management decided that it was a really bad idea to keep her hired. So in the end, she ended up being fired for that. But they're still dating now. And so since then, we didn't have another Chinese teacher again. So our Chinese was stunted at that point. And that's all there was.
So there you go, guys. Who says gamers can't go ahead and date people? You go to China, you go ahead and start dating your language teacher. But gamers, there's nothing beyond us. I swear to God. Hear my lips. There's nothing beyond us. You can get to the international. You can date Chinese girls when you get out international. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one of the other tough questions, which I've always been asked. You come from an Asian family. How big was the pressure to actually have an education versus gaming from your family? Because that happens to be a problem with most Asian families, right?
Yeah, I mean, my parents obviously want the best for me, and they want me to go to school and study and whatnot, but I showed them that I really was dedicated to this, and I really wanted to progress. And at first they were doubting everything, but at the end of the day, I guess I'm kind of an adult or whatever, and they really respect my decision, and so that's I mean, I don't know how much I can say about it. Obviously, you should probably go to school if your parents want you to go to school, but if you really feel that you have a shot and this is your dream, then you should follow your dream, and your parents will understand that.
So on that, you're not in school right now, right? So you're dropping that year to go ahead and actually study Dota and play Dota, right?
Yeah. I decided that I wanted to play Dota, and to play Dota, you need all the time that you can get. And this year I was in China playing, so yeah, that's basically it. I'm not going to school this year because I wanted to go play in China.
Tell us about this dedication. Everyone talks about this big word, dedication, and help us quantify this. How many hours a day do you play? How many games do you play a day? How do you prepare? How do you get into that zone?
Normally, I can play anywhere between 5 hours to 12 or 14 hours or something like this. Yeah, a day. Because I feel that in Dota, you need to keep your skills sharp all the time. And the best way to do that is to play as many games as you can and see from there. In between, I watch some shows, eat, or whatever, all this normal stuff too.
Cool. So 12 to 14 hours a day, guys. And it's not chump change. We're talking about close to about 100 hours a week. And if that's the kind of dedication which is there, then that's what you need to go ahead and do. On that same track, it's not just about playing games, right? It's not just like, oh, find pub play, find pub play, find pub play. How do you go ahead and become a better gamer? How do you go beyond there?
To become a better gamer, obviously you need to find a pub and play, but you need to also think about what you are doing, why you are doing it, what are the mistakes that you made, and why you made these mistakes, and from there you can think about next time how you can change that. And this is really important to actually become better. Apart from that, I think the other way is to also watch other people play who you think is really good. Just see how they play. You can even mimic them, whatever you want. Take what you think is good out of it and help yourself grow like that.
Okay, so there you go. Quick tips. You can definitely watch other people go ahead and play. You can also go ahead and actually start going and developing your own style by going and practicing certain styles. Like if you want to be support, try that out and then go for it. Let's go off track here. Let's go off track and talk about, you are at the international, you are LGD. Where does LGD and specifically you go from here forward next year?
Right now it's not decided what we will do. Maybe we will go back home and play from there, or we'll go back to China. It still hasn't decided yet.
Okay. Like most people we've been asking, I think the international is a place that people go ahead and put as the end of a cycle. They don't know where it's going to go. Depends on how the results are. And yeah, and I think the season is kind of tied around the international, so that's kind of very important. Cool. One of maybe last two questions, which is there. You've seen a lot of women come into gaming round, right? So there's last year versus this year. One of the things I've been seeing in the international is the first one had few, then it's getting bigger and it's getting bigger. Do you think in the future there would be a time where men and women will play on the same team? Have you found that skill set yet?
To be honest, I don't know how far in the future we're looking, but I mean, it's quite possible. There's a lot of girls and a lot of girl teams playing, and some girls are talented, but it all comes down to, still I think it all comes down to dedication and what you are playing the game for.
Excellent. And getting to the last question of this entire thing, you come from a South Asian family. Do you have any dedications? Like, would you be here? Are there certain people in your life, teammates, mentors, parents, someone who would be able to who you can go ahead and dedicate this out to?
I would go and dedicate this out to my mother. She's very supportive of me, my brother, my father. I have a lot of friends who watch my games, and I have some that are even here to watch me play too. So yeah, I would dedicate all this out to them, and shout out to our sponsors, LGD, Razer, Taobao.
Nice. There you go, guys. Couldn't find it better. This is Lordnod signing off with the big man. See you later.